Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Keransky, and yes, I've already covered this game in the form of a first hour play, but this is a perfect example why you should keep your pre-order spreadsheets updated, otherwise you'll end up ordering two versions of the same game. Thankfully, the other version is just a standard edition, while this is the Valentia Complete Edition of Fire Emblem Echoes for the 3DS. On the front cover we see Alm and Cecilia along with other characters. So, on the back absolutely nothing. On the top and bottom sides, well, on the bottom side we have the contents of this edition as well as the continuation of the illustration. And on the other sides, more characters. So, let's take a look at what's inside this edition. The 3DS game, of course, a card for Fire Emblem Cypher, a code for a downloadable content, a soundtrack CD, an art book, and a Blu-ray with the Fire Emblem HD movie collection. Time to see what's inside the box. Well, it's a very simple box, no fancy latches here. So, here's the Fire Emblem HD movie collection, a Blu-ray disc. This is the 3DS game that has Celica on the front cover. Below that, the art book. This is the game that comes with the Valentia Complete Edition. On the front cover we see Celica, and on the back the usual assortment of screenshots, technical details, amiibo support, nothing really new. So let's take a look inside. So, sound selection, Echoes, 30 tracks. Spacer, and of course the game that looks like the standard game you will find everywhere else. So inside this case I see the cartridge, of course. Is this... oh, these are the two cards. One for Celica and one for Alm. Celica's card is holographic and three-dimensional, while Alm gets a rather standard card. So the usual instructions for 3DS software, and what I'm hiding here is a download code for some DLC that has to be redeemed in-game. But while I'm at it, here's the first version I bought for this game. As you can see, the cover is different, there is Alm on it, different color, but on the back it's essentially the same. So inside we go. A second sound selection. Same tracks. And of course the game is the same as before. Inside the cartridge, same download code, and Alm cards is the same. So here's a detailed look at the cards. And here's the sound selection echoes. Or this way is better. This is the Blu-ray, the Fire Emblem HD movie collection. On the front cover we see Falchion, I guess, the Fire Emblem. These are the 3 magic types, if I'm not mistaken. 2 dragons and nothing more. So let's go on the back, where the titles of the games are. This should be Path of Radiance, the 2 games on the GameCube and the Wii, Awakening, Fire Emblem If, or Fire Emblem Onichama as I call it, or Fire Emblem Fates in the West, and of course Fire Emblem Echoes. Some technical details: 1080i, not P, 16:9, MPEG 4, and I don't think this is 95 minutes. Seems a bit too long. So here's the disc. Nothing on the back. So Path of Radiance, Onichama, Awakening and Echoes. Let's take a look at the Blu-ray itself. The Blu-ray has 4 main chapters, one for each game in the collection. Inside these chapters you'll find every single movie that a game has. Video compression is excellent, although the audio is only stereo and in Japanese. There are no subtitles. This is an excellent disc, and yes, there is an hour and a half worth of video in here, covering every single cutscene that the games included had.
私に会いに来てくれたのね。かわいい子。
Let's take a look at the final piece of this limited edition, the Valentia art book. I think that the front cover depicts the war between the 2 gods, or at least between a god and a dragon. So let's take a look inside. So of course we start with Alm and his childhood friends. And then we close with Cecilia, at least for what I think are the primary characters. Of course, the 3 Pegasus sisters, and then some locations. weapons in the game. Quickly change into more locations and then enemies. And I think this is spoiler territory. While these look like normal enemies. More locations. Preparatory sketches. And signatures from the development team, my guess. And of course the original cover. I like this Valentia Complete Edition of Fire Emblem Echoes. It's nothing spectacular, sure, but everything in it is well done and it's pertinent to the game. I like that Nintendo didn't charge this kind of money for a series of DLCs, and rather we get a lot of physical items like a Blu-ray, an art book that, as usual for me, I would have preferred larger, and a soundtrack. So, yeah, I think that this edition is worth its money. As I already said in the opening, I've already covered this game with a first hour play, so I bid you farewell. I hope you have enjoyed this video and you stick around for more. Briareos Kerensky, over and out.